My love and my care are not what determine whether she's a good person or not. What determines whether she's a good person or not is her actions and decisions in life combined with genuineness and sincerity. What would be the genuineness and sincerity? It would be that when I went to them and said, you people are very unhealthy. You've destroyed my life. I've lost 2 marriages because of you. I've lived 30, 40 years hating myself directly because of the messages you folks drilled into my head and the way you made me feel and view myself as a child. Remember the second ingredient in a good person? A good person is genuine. So a genuine person would say, my gosh, are you serious? I did that to you? Well, I need to understand more. I need you to tell me more. How did I do that? Well, I don't know, so you need to tell me. I love you. I would never do something like that on purpose. I need you to help me understand. I will do anything. I will do anything to figure this out, understand what I did wrong, correct it, to make this right between us. What did my mother and father do? They said I was full of crap. They said I was full of crap, and it was my problem. Spontaneously, these problems exist for me, and it's my issue to deal with, and they've got nothing to do with it, and they don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. That's what my parents did. Are those the actions of a good person, of good people? No. No. And I'm certain that many in my audience also are living with the narrative that their parents are something that they are not. It's all emotional fiction. So how do you see the truth? Acceptance, which is pushing aside your feelings about a thing and not allowing your feelings to in any way cloud or color what is right before your eyes. Look at the facts. And to help you do that, use the trick that I taught you here in this episode this week. The way you disconnect yourself from it is you imagine it's somebody else that you don't know. And you imagine how you would feel about that person, what conclusions you would reach about them. Let's use this example. How would you feel about a woman who mistreats the children in your neighborhood so severely that they grow up loathing themselves, hating themselves, unable to view themselves as having any worth whatsoever? Would you say, well, she's a beacon of goodness within our community? Of course you wouldn't. And why are you able to look at that situation without any narrative? Because you don't have any emotional involvement tied up in a relationship with this imaginary woman. But you take now that and say, well, that is exactly, I just described exactly my own mother and the effect that her behaviors and decisions and lack of decision and genuineness and sincerity had on me. That's not a good person, no matter how much I care about her or love her or anything. The narrative. Remember, the narrative doesn't need any facts. It's not fact-based. It's storytelling-based. How you should feel about a thing. And remember, people aren't good because we care about them. That's not what determines if a person is good or not. Yeah, it applies to me too. When I think of myself, am I applying the narrative? What is the narrative I walk around with about me, who I am, the nature of myself? Am I a good person or am I a bad person? Well, I can apply the narrative, but can I disconnect myself from how I wish to be and look at the facts, the truths of my life, and reach an accurate description rather than a narrative? Well, it's important that I be able to do that because, first of all, I'm going to see both good and bad things. And many of those bad things I can then address and fix and identify. What does that come down to? Genuineness. But denial would prevent me from ever seeing it in the first place. How can I fix what I'm not even allowing myself to see? To be able to get there, I have to give up the narrative.